Today we're going to be discussing the Freytag pyramids. This is just one of the ways that I plot a novel, a book, or a novella. We're going to start by building the structure. I'm going to use Canva for this video just to show you how I fill in and build this structure. I normally make this by hand. It's easier for me because I'm making this very simple so that I can make a more detailed outline on my computer. And I didn't want to use my handwriting or record me drawing this because I can read my handwriting. I highly doubt you all will be able to read my handwriting. So this is just me building the structure. I'm going to add some music just to speed through this. Pause and read our prompt that we'll be using to fill in our Freytag's pyramid. In our next clip, I'm just filling in the key topics we will be discussing in this pyramid. The beginning, building suspense, the challenge, the climax, and the end. Now that we have our basics all set up, we're going to cover the beginning. We're going to introduce our characters, we're going to introduce our setting, and we're going to go over important objects to let our reader fully understand who our characters are or get a feel of how they think or how they behave. Using our prompt, which is a couple moves into a new house and starts experiencing supernatural phenomenons, only to realize that the previous owners were involved in a series of gruesome murders. Now, using that prompt, we're going to fill in our pyramid with more details. We're going to introduce that young couple. For the sake of this video, we're going to say that their names is Maya and Ethan. They move into this house. They love the home. It's their dream home, and it's in a quiet neighborhood. Now, for the sake of the video, I am being pretty simple. And again, I normally write this by hand, so I am pretty simple when filling this pyramid in. But you may be as detailed as you like to make sure that your story flows and to make sure that you got a good start before you start writing. Now we're going to cover the building suspense or rising action. This is where we're going to introduce other characters. The conflict starts to happen, and we're going to show the attitudes or the ideas or the conflicting attitudes and ideas of our character. Now, our building suspense is the supernatural phenomenons. So they start to experience strange occurrences, flickering lights. Maya starts discovering things around the house, and they starting to hear things, and things are really freaking them out. And this is where we're building up to the climax. You should be pulling your readers in deeper. You're not giving away anything. You're just pulling them in further into the story that will give them things that will keep them reading until the climax. And the climax should fully draw them in and makes them want to read the end, but we're going to get into that next. Now we're going to cover the ultimate challenge or decision made, or aka the climax. This is where we're covering things that change about the character, significant change about the character or the story or just details. This is going to be either physical, intellectual, spiritual. This is going to be decisions they make that could be good or bad for the storyline or for their character, should I say. And this is the point where you really want to snatch your readers in so they're interested until the end. Again, we're not giving anything away, but we're snatching them in so that they can read until the end. Now, the climax of this prompt would be that they find out about the past murders. How they find out, why they find out, where they find out, all those extra details, you would put that into a more detailed outline, or you can include that on your pyramid. It's up to you. But for me, I will put that on a more detailed outline because, again, I normally draw this by hand, and that would just be a lot of writing. So I normally type this out just to make it easier for myself. Again, this is the point where you are bringing the story to a peak. You are really making a reader say, oh my goodness, or gasping and wanting to continue to read to the end to know how the story ends. Again, you can use this example or this prompt in your own story to make your own story, but this is just an example of a climax. At this point, we're at the later half of the book, or what will be considered the later half of the book, which is the results of the climax or the falling action. This is where we'll see either the conflict be resolved or hints at what will happen in the future. Any mysterious objects or characters or ideas are revealed here. You could add a little suspense if you're writing a thriller, just to, again, keep the reader reading to the end. Don't give anything away, but definitely draw the reader in more. I know I keep saying that, but that is a big point, especially if you're writing a thriller. Now, my fall in action is going to be that things get worse. The results of them finding out about the past murders, things get worse. The activity in the house intensifies. They start to see figures. They start to become possessed. They start to see marks on their bodies. It seems as though that the spirits are pitting Maya and Ethan against each other, and they're not understanding what's going on. They're a little confused as to how they're getting possessed and things like that. Maybe in the climax area or after the climax, they have some way that they think that they're helping to fix it, and it doesn't fix it. It gets worse. Again, you can add these extra details into your more detailed outline to make the story flow more consistently. This is just the basics. And now we're at the end. This is where we either kill someone off, they make it out, or if it's a love story, they say farewell to a love. It's a friendship, they say farewell to a friendship, or they form a friendship. This is where you end the story, and you wrap everything up. Our story ends with Maya barely escaping with her life. She leaves the house and it's abandoned again. Now, in my story, only one person will survive. The details of how only one person survived or how we get there, again, I've said this throughout the video. It will be in a more detailed outline. You can take all of the information from the pyramid and apply it to the 3 acts. In Act 1, you can introduce the couple, Maya and Ethan. They move into their dream home in a quiet neighborhood. The house is beautiful. It's their dream home, but it comes with the history of being on the market for a long time. As you see, I'm adding more details as I go along. This is all helping and to build the story or create a more solid plot. Moving into Act 2, we're going to put that they uncover a hidden room in the basement containing disturbing photos and journals. The journals reveal that the previous owner lured victims to the house and committed these gruesome murders. Again, I'm adding more detail. This is all helping not only the flow of the story, but again, it's deepening that plot, making sure that plot is really strong. So as we're writing, we're not confused on where we're going with the story. Moving into Act 3, we're going to be finishing up this story. Maya manages to piece together a ritual to banish the spirits, but it's at a cost. Ethan succumbs to the hauntings and becomes trapped within the house, and Maya barely escapes. Again, I'm adding more detail. This is how Ethan does not make it at the end. This is going into how the end of our story ends with only one surviving. Again, adding more detail, making sure that plot is really strong. So you can make this story a standalone, or if you would like, you can add a plot twist for a sequel or a series, and you can show another family moving into the home in the epilogue of this story. I feel like that's a great plot twist. It may be a typical plot twist, but again, this is a thriller. I feel like that'd be a good end to the story. If you made it to the end of this video, I just want to say thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to also go into my bio and hit a few of those links to check out some of the projects that I have out. I do have Quiet Complications out right now, and I do have a few other projects coming in April. Again, thank you for watching.